my friends, my name is Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales, and welcome back to the channel. And today we will be looking at the developer blog for the 12th of September 2019 for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. But before that, if you watched the channel recently, you'll know that I did a top 5 anticipated features video for Bannerlord. If interested, please go and check out that video. And yeah, so let's have a little quick read of what they said. So greetings, warriors of Calradia. In this week's blog, we will be showing you some raw gameplay footage from Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord's vast sandbox campaign. This particular video was captured from the demo we took this year at Gamescon, which put a heavy emphasis on large battles and sieges, dropping the player in the mid-game of Bannerlord's campaign with a sizable warband of troops. We'll see that in a second when I show you the video. Because of the scale of the sandbox, unfortunately, we are unable to show you all of the game's current features in their entirety in the one video, but rest assured, we will be moving closer to early access, and they'll be showing more and different aspects of the game and highlight many of the different features and mechanics that we'll be able to experience for ourselves when the game is released in March of 2020. So yeah, that's basically what it says here. And then it's the video, which I've got loaded up here. It's going to play in the background. And the first screen, which we'll pause by here. So we've got this character selection screen. So there's got 3 here. Brogomir, which we've seen quite a lot of. Valtis and Aljin, representing different factions, all 3 of them. They have different skills, which I haven't quite worked out what one each one is yet, but I will try and analyse that and maybe do a video on that in the future. So Brogomir chose to pursue a career as a warrior. He fought briefly for the Sturgeons, but fell foul of the tyrannical king Raganvad. He found Garlos of the Empire, a soldier who understood soldiers, a liege more to his liking. Brogomir is perhaps the most fearsome fighter in Garlos ranks. So that's him. But this actually reminds me a little bit of Attila, Total War Attila, the selection screen there when you have the kings and the banner behind them. They've gone for that kind of style, which I quite like here. And then you've got Valtis and Aljin. I'm not going to read it to you, you know, it's all there, all of it, so I won't carry on like that. But I quite like it. That's what it reminds me of anyway. So we'll skip ahead and we'll let it play for a little bit. So they start off at Lagata by here. Got different options, which you can see on the screen here. So they've arrived at Lagata. You see the banner of Krotor, an archon of the Western Empire over the battlements. The town is of average wealth. You hear some complaints about prices, shortages, and greedy merchants, but no more than normal. So you can take a walk around the town centre. You go to the keep, the arena, tavern district. You can recruit troops, trade. I like the UI. I think I've mentioned it before in my previous video, but the UI looks so much cleaner. I do want to know what each thing is though, but I will, you know, once we get our hands on the game and the single player aspect of the game, more of this will come to light. Just let it play. So they go to Lagata by here, or Lagetta, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but I'll go with Lagetta. And you go take a walk around the town, or in the tavern rather. I'm still concerned about the size of the heads. Just from behind third person, they do look rather small. I don't know whether it's just me, but I'm finding it to be rather small. I'm going to make it full screen as well so you guys can see it properly. I don't know what I'm doing here. So they go into see Pella long knife here. Pass up my straw. So yeah, they get to a menu by here in a second for Pella long knife. If I can skip ahead to it maybe. I'm not sure if it's by here. She's joined the party. Later on I see, yeah, by here I think it is. So I can pause by here. So you've got Brogomir. Again, you can see, so we've got the value. The beer is 51 gold, and you've got 6 of them there. Cows, that's 10 cows with 137 value. Just to sort of highlight it, all the different things in the inventory here. And then on the right hand side is the party. And I think it's, you've got a weight limit of nearly 4,000, and they've about half of that so far, with 3,800 gold. So it's a little bit of the trade-in sort of feature here. And there we go, this is Pella long knife I wanted to bring up. So you can see two-handed, one-handed, it tells you a little bit more about the swords. Swing speed 93. If it's red, I'm assuming it's not that good, whereas green's going to be a lot better. They're comparing, I think, the two-handed swords here to the fulled greatsword. So in comparison, the two-handed sword has a much better swing speed of 1/6 than the fulled greatsword. But then the cut's better on the greatsword. So you can compare the swords by here, like that. As we skip ahead now again. Again, got the recruitment screen by here, so you can see what they're recruiting here. These are some of the people you can meet throughout the campaign. So they've gone to Lagata to stock up on some items. Got a companion joined the party, Pella long knife. And this is the world map. I'll pause it here. So I like the fact that when you zoom all the way out, you can see all the map like this, but your character is easily identifiable. It's a big improvement from Warband, because I zoomed out so many times on Warband with the scroll wheel, and then I just couldn't find my character. So this is a nice feature as they orient the world map to a different location. We're going to end up at Provend, but they are Provend. I say Provend because I'm an idiot, but yeah, we'll pretend they're French, but they're not French. They're of course Imperials, Empire. So yeah, so Verxan Castle here. Look at the owner, House of Fortes. Must be some kind of Hispanic, kind of, I guess, inspired by Hispanic, or Fortes or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, it's just going through the UI, the house name. I like the fact it gives you a bit of information, a bit more of an idea. You can see the garrison size bit by looking at it. So he's planning ahead to what he's going to do, where he's going to attack. And now he's going to go to the army management screen. Going to bring up a bunch of different characters here. It does cost influence, so it'll be interesting to see how that sort of plays in when I get my hands on the game, eventually when we get our hands on the game and play it. But a bunch of people have just joined the party now, and you can see he's got 75, and there's people behind him now that are all going to join up. He's mustering 233, and it's going to grow and grow again in this video. So we can see what he's doing. He's mustering the troops. He's going on a campaign here. And he's gone to Verxan Castle. So he's made it here to Verxan Castle. He's building siege equipment. I love this, by the way, as well. His army's been bolstered while he's there sieging. And this by here, the options to put your siege equipment around the castle, battering rams, equipment, ballistas, onagers, that sort of thing is great. It's a bit of an RTS kind of feel to it, which I love, because I love RTS games like Total War. I've certainly been inspired by Total War, I think, especially when you start the siege battle and you have the option to kind of do a bit of strategy at the start. I really enjoy that. They've done a good job, I think, in my opinion, so far. You can see Verxan Castle, they're actually getting some troops now to join them here. So I'm just going to skip ahead till we get to the siege. So we've got the loading screen here. And this is what I mean by here. So I've paused up there. You've got the option to place, what you're going to use, where you're going to place your towers. You can auto-deploy and let the AI take command, or you can just do a manual deployment, which this person's doing by here. It tells you what you've got. They haven't got any siege equipment here. They're all 0. They can place certain items to go. If they just put, I think it's a ballista or something, or catapult per there, which you'll see when the battle starts actually take a few shots. So which is quite a nice touch. And it's like a click and drag as well. The troops, you can click and drag and place them, very much Total War style. And you can see on the left hand side by here, F7 to transfer. You can delegate commands, fire at will, shield wall, face enemy, and stop. So there's a bunch of movements you can do by here as well, of how you want to start the battle. And you've got a deployment zone as well, so you can start right down by here, by the edge of the sea. Although that's probably not going to be the best place to start, because archers will have free hits on you. And here you go. There's the catapult, the siege equipment. You see it just smack into the bottom of the wall by there. And there's another one which they set up. They've taken another shot. I think I was just hit the wall by there. And you can see on the tower, if I just move, if I just pause it there, that's better. You can see there's one on the wall, but I think there's one up on that wall as well, on the defenders' army as well. But don't you just get this big battle feel whenever you have a siege battle? That's one of the things that I think, like most RTS games that I've played, siege battles have always been a bit buggy. There's been issues. I'm not going to say that this game isn't going to have that. I'd be surprised if it didn't, to be honest with you. But every time I've seen a siege battle in Bannerlord so far, I've always had that big battle feel. That's exactly what you want to get from your sieges. The fact, like this sort of thing by here, we got the AI taking cover behind these barricades by here. Archers that are able to take shots across by here. This is just brilliant. The way they've set this up, got archers taking shots on the hill by there, more ballistas firing in, archer fire flying into the settlement there as well. It's been really well done, to be fair, and I have to give full credit to Taleworlds from what I've seen from the sieges so far. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't have any bugs at all, but we're seeing so much positive stuff from the siege battle so far that I have to give credit where it's due. So new reinforcements have arrived on the enemy side, and you can see a hell of a lot of infantry they've placed on this side, hidden behind the rocks as well, across the sea, so they're hard to get at. Very good strategy putting them there. Peppering the enemy at the front of the castle and the ramp by here. He's just marching around as a commander on the horseback. And if I skip ahead now, we'll get a little bit further into the battle. We start from about by here. So they've sent these troops in now. and they're going up the walls here. There's the siege equipment, look. They've used the siege equipment forcibly to get up onto the walls. They're now fighting on the walls, and we can see our trooper here. He'll dismount now his horse in a very precarious position. That horse would probably bolt, to be honest with you, but very well behaved horse. Up he goes into the melee with every other troop there. And he's going to jump in now with his axe, his two-handed axe, and start beating the holy hell out of his enemies. He goes up on the wall here, he fights a couple of archers, takes a few of them out. I do love the hand-to-hand combat in this game. It looks so much fluid than Warband. And I keep referring to Warband, but I'm obviously going to because Warband is the predecessor to this game. And obviously it's like 7-8 years difference, so it's going to look it's going to look a lot different as far as graphics, engine, gameplay stuff goes, but everything I've seen so far pretty much looks better. A very easy siege. They had them on pincered on two sides pretty much. I think the only thing left now is a handful of troops. You can see them running for their lives through the gates, but the battle's pretty much won. You gain 99 renown, 40 influence and 80 morale. So they've got some positive stuff for that, and it brings you a bit of an overview of the screen. So very good siege, a bit of a quick siege I guess, but I think they were heavily outnumbered. And Pella long knife, you can see companion there. I think they upgrade her or something. I didn't quite miss that. I didn't quite see that. And you got this other guy here in long. Oh, this is long knife. Yeah, he's just giving us some some equipment which looks rather fascinating, shall we say. He's giving her a spear. Oh, lovely chainmail outfit there. And we've got Blacktooth by here. He's getting some new equipment as well. Some nice little gloves as well for her as well. So yeah, there's a little bit of customization going on here. And then that's basically done. They've taken Verksand Castle, so that's the main siege over and done with. And what they basically do, if I skip ahead, I'm not going to bore you too much because the video's there for you to watch in its entirety yourself. But they raid a village, they do a bit of raiding, they go and have a fight in the dark here. They're up against very few troops, like 61 troops against a few hundred, so it's a very quick battle. It's in the dark. I'm not going to show you this one, I'm going to skip ahead. They've won the battle, they've taken some prisoners, 9 prisoners. Just going through their equipment again. It's going to take a while to get used to this UI, because the UI looks so different. It looks much better on the eye than previous game, but again, you've saw the different icons and stuff. Things can be done slightly differently, I think, so that's going to be the big thing for this. So we're going to skip ahead to a certain point. There's commendations here as well, so current support. So military achievements are favoured and lords can vote to award each other decoration distinct. Military achievements grant 50% more influence and troop wage 20% more. So there's a policy you can bring in, and it's open to a vote, so that's what happens here. I think they bring this into a vote, or bring something into a vote here. Again, the encyclopedia looks really nice and clean. Lots of information on different characters within the world, which is nice to see. There is a vote that comes up at some stage. I think I may have missed it, but it is in there. And then we skip ahead, and this is the main thing here. So he's got nearly 500 troops. He's going to march towards Provend or Provende, however you want to pronounce it. So if you're French, Provende. If you're strange, Provende. If you're a bit like me, Provende. But it's probably Provend. And we'll skip ahead. He goes there, he starts sieging. So he's got the siege equipment up. Like I said, nearly 500 troops. He's bringing up all the battering rams, trebuchets, you name it, they've got it there. And this is great, this is, because he is... Obviously, time's going fast forward. You can see Sea Raiders. He's pausing every time Sea Raiders pop along. Every time there's a Sea Raider, he'll pause it. Every time something comes into battle, he pauses it. He pauses it just the right time, because if I pause it there for a second... If that army was to attack him there, then he probably would be fighting about 700 to 800 troops. He'd be 2 to 1. But he paused just the right time, break the siege, get out of there, and we're going to go in, not in the vicinity of the castle, from what I can tell. You got Durthad by here. A little bit of voice acting on the first sentence, which happens quite frequently, I've noticed. They don't speak after that. Once you reply here, they don't speak with the voice actor on this one, only on the first sentence. I'm happy with that though. And they basically charge in and have a battle. Again, it's a bit dark, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this properly on the screen. They have a big battle. I'm not going to go through the entire battle, but what I will do is show you a little bit of it towards the end, maybe. It tells you the damage per here. Delivered 211 pierce damage to the mount. Body part hit head. relative movement, tells you the movement speed, absorb damage and extra damage from perks. So nice thing to see but there. And you can see they're completely trounced now. Lots of green, not much red up on here. Green is of course local, you know, your own team, your ally team. Your red is your enemy. And they basically ran them down the field. Ran them down the field rather. Ran them off the field, there we go, got there in the end. And that is pretty much the end of that in about 4 minutes or so. The battle's done. I don't want to spoil it all for you, because in case you want to watch the video in its entirety, like I said, it's 26 minutes long. I will link it. I'll link the dev blog in the description below, so you can see it in its entirety. And again, you can see just some stuff then. This is them upgrading all of their troops. You can see they've got the chevrons for the experience down by here. If I can try and pause over one of these. Oh, there we go. Upgrade to Sturgeon Soldier. So it costs 25 gold to get that Sturgeon Warrior up to a Sturgeon Soldier. So I wanted to pause on one of them just so you can see what the screen looked like there. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So that ends it for this video looking at the developer blog. I will do more Bannerlord videos in the near future when more news comes out. I've been Dragonheart. Until next time, goodbye.